Alright guys, so we are now at the 4th custom mask commission video. If you guys haven't seen the other 3, please check them out. And this one is designed by Don D. Amato. And this one is actually pretty interesting because guess what? It is a mouthpiece, so check that out. Now I have something to tell you guys. So Don is actually, he told me on message that he wasn't really a drawer, which is totally fine. I'm not actually forcing you guys to do your designs, but you guys still have to try, okay? There's nothing wrong with trying. And from what I see, if you guys actually take a closer look, this is actually not a drawing. It's a clever trick, but you can't fool me. This is probably taken into Photoshop, and this is probably one of the sketch filters or something was used, because you can see, don't tell me he took the time and dotted this whole entire drawing up. That's ridiculous. But the mouthpiece is drawn, so yeah, so you can't fool me. But I'm not forcing you guys to draw, but you guys still have to at least try. And he also told me that the drawing, as you can see, is quite blank of detail. There's hardly any detail in there, and I guess that's something he can't really do. You can't really blame someone that can't draw. I mean, I don't even consider myself a good drawer, but still try, okay? Still try. Now, what's interesting about his mouthpiece is that he wants it to look similar to the paintball-like mask that he had. I'm not actually going to copy that, but I will take the style of that and put it onto the sculpture. And he also wanted it to look like Stigmata's mouthpiece in some sort of way. So he also sent me a QuickTime video to reference. So this was actually a cool idea. This is to help me design the mouthpiece that he wants. So as you can see, this is I don't know if this is a paintball gun or something, but it's a mask for safety, as far as I can see. And he pretty much wants the shape of that for his custom. And the details here are actually pretty interesting, but yet simple. And I will pretty much take that style, as well as Stigmata's mouthpiece style, and combine them. And hopefully I will get something really, really sick. Alright? So yes, expect it to look not too similar from that, but something really close. Alright guys, so here's the finished clay sculpture of Don D. Amato's Sinner mask. So as you can see, it looks pretty badass. You got the awesome mechanical details in there. Everything's all crammed in there, just as the way he wanted it to be. Now, again, if you guys don't remember, he didn't really have that much stuff for me to go on. The only thing he had was the shape of the mask, as you can see here, and I did that right here. But he said for the details, he pretty much wanted the way how it looks similar to how he has his airsoft mask right here. I believe that's an airsoft mask, I'm not really sure, but as you can see, the intricate pattern as seen right here is pretty much right here. So it's pretty much repeated. And as you can see, the vent, what do you call that, the holes, I replaced it with that. So as you can see, I pretty much did what he wanted me to, and I pretty much took some of Stigmata's way of detailing and placed it here. But above all, I did study someone else's work in order for me to make this happen. And that person is Alex Wood. If you guys don't know who Alex Wood is, he is the artist that pretty much put my artistic skills to good use. He's pretty much the guy who made me a mask maker today, so that's good. I pretty much studied his Mortal Kombat Scorpion mask, so he made his own version of the Scorpion, or of a Scorpion's mask, and I pretty much studied how he did the detailing. And from what I learned, the way he details his things, it's so intricate, it's amazing. That's why I look upon him when I look up on him when it comes to sculpting. So I pretty much studied how he did the details on his Scorpion, and I pretty much applied that style of detailing to this custom mask, Sinner. And as you can see, it looks really good. And what I like about it the most is that it's not just mechanical. on some areas you kind of feel like it's like a cyborg in a way because of everything not being sharp and edgy. You know, like for example right here, notice how it's not too sharp and rigid, so it looks like it's, you know, like something organic maybe, you know. I don't know. Above all, this looks really good. So you got the back right here, and I left some space in the back because this is where the lacing is actually going to be. You know, so I'm going to have some rivets right here, eyelets to be more exact, and I'm going to have lacing. So yeah, this is Sinner. Again, the details are heavily influenced by Alex Wood's Scorpion mask. Please check that out. I will put a link on the description of this video so you guys can check that out. So that pretty much helped me achieve this look by studying his version of the Scorpion, but at the same time still not straying away from Don D. Amato's airsoft master here. So it's pretty much still there. Do you guys see the similarity? But yeah, that's it for the finished clay sculpture. This is looking really badass. For this specific custom mask designed by Don D. Amato, the way it's shaped is it's not something you see on your daily basis when it comes to masks, you know. So, and it's gonna be molded differently and casted differently as well. And it's a pretty strange way to cast once the mold's done, because as you can see, there's a open area right here, because this is pretty much not where the mask is supposed to be. It's pretty much just a mouthpiece, a full head mouthpiece. So I've never done anything like this before, and I've never actually molded anything like this before. So this is an exception. So for those of you guys who want to do something like this in the future, how to make a you know, a mouthpiece looking mask similar to how this one looks, I'm gonna show you guys how I do it, so you guys can get a better idea how you're gonna mold it pretty much and cast it. Okay. So here's the clay walls. As you can see, I'm using oil-based clay. I've been using oil-based clay for the walls because for the past, I don't know, couple months, almost a year, I think. It's just so much better to use. It may take a while for you to do clay walls using oil-based clay, but guess what? You don't have to worry about it drying, cracking, losing grip on the armature, falling, you know, all that dumb stuff that you can actually avoid. I have a lot of oil-based clay, so this is something useful for me. I have a lot of oil-based clay, so I'm pretty sure making clay walls will not hurt. Okay. So yeah, this is oil-based clay walls, dividing walls. You got the keys right there. Nothing, and as you can see, I still do the I forgot what I call this on what do I call this? I forgot. Welding. Yeah, I call it welding because you're pretty much gripping it better. But anyways, this is pretty durable for walls, so that's why it's really helpful. I don't have to worry about it, you know, collapsing, because when I did use water-based clay, it did tend to collapse every now and then, and that was really painful. Okay, so I'm using oil-based clay now for clay walls. But yeah, this is the dividing and containing walls for Sinner. Alright guys, so here is the finished mold for Sinner. It was a pretty interesting mold to do because the design itself, Sinner, is a full around mouthpiece. Unlike Stigmata's mouthpiece, it only goes up to the front of the ears, you know, but Sinner is actually a full around mouthpiece, as you all know when I sculpted it. So it was a pretty interesting mold to do. What I did pretty much was I pretty much molded so that there's a gaping hole on the forehead. I don't know why I did that, but I don't know, it seemed like a pretty good idea, but it worked. Because I don't really think it's necessary to mold all this because there's no sculpture in it, you know, so why would you mold it? But now that I think of it, I should have molded it as if it was a skull mask, you know. I didn't do that, so there's a huge hole, but that doesn't matter. It's still gonna work anyways when I cast it. So hopefully you guys get an idea on how to mold full around mouthpieces, but we'll see for sure how the cast will look. Alright. I just finished the casting stage for Sinner, my 4th custom mask, and I just pulled it out from this mold. This was a really weird way to cast a mask because I've never made a mold like this, you know? It's like a halo with a huge gaping hole at the center. It wasn't really difficult to cast, it was just pretty weird, you know? So what I did was I took a spoonful of latex and kept doing that over and over and added it to one side. And when it came to a certain point where there's a lot of latex, I just slushed it around. And I also used my new method for making latex casts pretty thick. And that's how I got this to be, you know, fairly durable and rigid. Alright, so let's take a look at the cast. So here it is. Hold on a sec, let me adjust the lighting. Look at that. There it is. This is the rough cast. This is really sick. Here's the side. Can't wait to paint this. So this is really cool. And I'll see you guys on the next steps. And the next step is pretty much all this will be all trimmed out, good to go for painting. And also at that time I will have the laces installed right here. I pretty much just recently I just demolded the cast from the mold, and I was also trimmed the cast itself. Also, I actually, since this was going to be a mouthpiece, I made it thicker and as a cast, because you really don't want it to, you know, flex around as much as you would compared to a cheap latex mask bought in the store or somewhere else, you know, because that's how they do it. I do mine in a different way. I like to keep my casts for my latex fairly thick. So here it is. Here's the cast. It looks pretty nice. This is, again, the details, they came from Don's design. So here's the shape of his custom mask, and he can't really draw, from what I remember him telling me. So what he did was he took a picture of himself with a similar mask that he got from a store, and he pretty much wanted me to use this as reference for the detailing, as well as applying my own unique style to it. So what I did was, as you all know, Alex Wood is the person who, up until now, is continuing to inspire me with his sculptures and stuff. So one of his sculptures in particular is Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. He made his own unique design based off of it, and I pretty much studied the details off of that and applied it to here. I will have the video to that Mortal Kombat Scorpion sculpture they did in the description below, so please check that out. You guys will know what I mean when it comes to, you know, the details, because this was also inspired by his, because as you all know, I hate doing mechanical details. It's a bit hard, but I'm starting to get used to it though, and I'm starting to get better. So you got all the repetition right there. Look at that. Look at those details. So this is just a blank cast. Alright, and here is the buckle. It was supposed to be out of laces, you know, like shoelaces or something with rivets. I was excited for that, but unfortunately, what Don did was he changed the plans at the last second, which is something I don't recommend you guys doing, especially if you guys have already paid for your custom mask. Okay, this was actually $15 for this one skating buckle, and he pretty much wanted me to super glue this on to the back piece. So I was like, okay, why not? And it works. It's highly adjustable, especially for a design like this. You know, it's kind of hard to determine what kind of strapping method you would do, since it goes all the way around your head, and not to mention it's a freaking mouthpiece mask, you know. So it's pretty cool how he came up with that. What I don't recommend you guys doing still is changing the design as well as the plans at the last second. Okay, don't do that, especially if you have paid, because that screws up. It doesn't really screw it up, it's just that you guys are making you guys are pretty much making the the custom mask making process more complex, and I'm trying to make it simple for you guys based on the PDF rules and guidelines. And one payment should be enough for a commission. Don't make it like 2 or 3. Like, we're trying to build a communication here, so I know what to do for your final design. Okay, try not to break it up. Tell me everything you want me to do on it, and I will do it, and I will tell you how I will do that. So please don't change your design plans at the last second. Okay, but this still works, so that's cool. So this is the finished paint job for my 4th custom mask Sinner, designed by Don D. Amato. And you guys are probably surprised that it's not really a paint job, because if you think about it, it's just one color. I mean, it is a paint job, but it's not what I suspected. But I'm not the guy who made this design, so I pretty much have to obey every commissioner's request. I can suggest things for you guys to make it look good, but that's up to you if you want to decide what you actually want on your design. It looks similar to how I pulled it out the first time from the mold, because I use a black pigmented latex. So that's the original cast color for my latex masks is black, and as you can see here, the paint job is black. And I also finished doing the final layer for it. He pretty much wanted it to be a matte, so it's not shiny. It may look shiny here. It's not. This is matte right here. I really wish that I could have added some unique colors aside from black, but that's not my control. That's his control, so I can't really do anything about it. I guess some designs look good when they're just pure black. I guess this is one of them, because you can still see the details depending on the lighting condition of the room. But yeah, and the buckles work really well, highly adjustable. Alright, so this is the part in every custom mask video in which I show the designer himself or herself their mask up close and personal, so you can see all the nooks and crannies, so you can see all the technical information about it. So I'm pretty much going to talk about the technical information of the mask, some safety precautions, how to put on the mask, anything technical. I will show it in this segment of every custom mask video. Alright, so in this case I will be talking to Don D. Amato directly. So Don, I had a really great time making your mask. It was challenging, and at the same time I learned a lot of new things. Alright, so here is your interesting mask. I've never done a mouthpiece before that goes all around the head, so it was a pretty interesting challenge to do. So there's nothing really much to talk about your mask, since it's pretty easy to put on. Here is the buckle that you wanted me to get and apply to your mask. So this is super glued on. If this for some reason breaks or something, I mean, it's a pretty durable bond to the buckle, to the mask itself, but if something happens to it, and don't blame it on me, because the original design for your custom was actually laces, as you remember, and you pretty much changed it at the last second. So that's not really my fault if this ends up dislocating or something. Okay, if it does, I'm not saying it will. But anyways, yeah, here's the buckle. It's super glued in, so you should be good. I'm actually gonna include the novice of my purchase for the buckle, since it was an external piece to the mask that I had to buy separately. So if you wanna, pretty much if you wanna, I'm assuming you already know how a buckle works, because you're the one who directed me to this particular buckle online. So simply, if you wanna detach it, like if you want the two pieces to be separated, all you have to do is actually take your 2 fingers and push against this part right here, these 2 hinges right here, and if you keep doing that, both pieces of the buckle will actually separate, as seen right here. Okay, and this is obviously the part where you put the mask on, and you put the flap within the buckle itself, as seen right here, and you're gonna actually use this lever, this metallic lever, and wedge it. You see that? And now it's pretty much locked in place. Now pretty much if you want to tighten it, all you have to do is take the lever and keep wedging it until it fits you perfectly. Okay? See how that works? So it's a pretty interesting way to make for a mask strap, you know, because I've never done anything like this before, and I don't think I'll ever will, you know, because I'm pretty sure this method does not apply to every single design out there. This method of using a rollerblading buckle, as it looks, this only applies to certain masks that have some sort of closed gap, and in this case, this is a perfect example. Your design. Okay. Now I do want to tell you one thing. Since this is latex, I hopefully you have like some sort of way to display it properly. You know, like a cheap armature head or a cheap mannequin display head of some sort. Because what tends to happen to latex is that if it's deformed in some way, like if I found the patience to hold the mask like this for 3 days straight, what the latex will actually do is it will keep that shape, you know. So I suggest you find a way to properly display this somehow, okay? Or you can actually hang it like this, as long as it doesn't screw with the shape, okay? And one thing I want to share you is when I was wearing this mask, it kept sliding off, and I realized that you can't really wear the mask like this. You know, you have to actually tilt the mask on the back upwards, like as so right here, so it can actually stay on your head, you know. So when you wear this mask, please be sure to adjust that accordingly, okay? And the mask will fit you perfectly, as it did to me. And I believe that's it. Now, I don't know if you're still doing this, but if you are, great. If for some reason you feel the need to add more buckles, please do so. You just need to use super glue, and it should work fine. It should work fine. And that's pretty much your mask, Don. Hopefully you get a good look at it in this segment of the video. Everything looks good, it looks great. It's pure black, you know. Alright, so we have reached the conclusion to this custom mask video of mine. I'm pretty much going to tell you guys what I've learned. So I'm pretty much going to talk to you guys about what I've learned from making this custom mask designed by Don Amato. So I learned 3 things. I learned using rollerblade buckles for straps. I never knew rollerblade buckles will actually be a fairly good way of putting straps on particular designs, such as mouthpieces, but it works pretty well, and I think I might use it in the future for a future design. Who knows? The second part is, by sculpting this mechanical-like design, I practice with my neck-like details. You know, as you all know, I'm not really good at making robotic-like details. I'm used to sculpting organic, you know, creatures instead of mechanical ones. So this helped me practice my mechanical sculpting. And the third thing I learned how to do by making this design is actually making a full around mouthpiece. You know, I never knew something like this existed, because I always thought that mouthpieces will have to go up to here and then have a strap all around. I never knew there was actually a way to make it so that it's a full around mouthpiece, as seen right here. By making this custom mask, I feel like I should totally do a standalone mouthpiece similar to what I did here. Of course, with my own design, you know. So yeah, those are 3 things I learned, those 3 valuable things. I believe it's always important to review what you have learned as an artist every time you finish a particular piece of work, because that's how you grow. You know, you have to be aware of the things that you've learned just recently in order for you to grow as an artist. And a lot of people don't do that, so I don't know how they grow, but the way how I grow, the way I taught myself in my mind, I pretty much review what I've learned from every single piece of video, mask, 3D model, you know, any art that I do, I always review what I've learned, what mistakes I did, and pretty much correct it, you know, and pretty much harness it, absorb it. And that's how I learn as an artist. That's how I learn by myself in my own time, you know. So now let's talk about the symbolism. No, again, symbolism is not something required for your design. When you guys send your design to me, it's not required whatsoever, but it is a bit fun and more interesting if you do end up putting a symbolism on it, you know, why not? In this case, this mask does not have symbolism, at least from the designer, which is quite unfortunate because I had like a streak I had a nice streak going on, but you know, that's fine. I had, you know, my first custom mask had a symbolism, my second, my third, and then the fourth one didn't. So I'm trying to have like a nice streak going on. It's always nice to have symbolism, you know. Why not add a story to your mask design? It will make me interested in your commission even more, and it will make me accept it even more. All right, so that's just a tip if you guys really want to impress me. Okay. But anyways, this doesn't have a symbolism. But for a person like me, for an artist like me, I like adding stories to things, even though it's not my own work. I like interpreting things the way how I see it, and I like sharing it to people, okay? So this is my symbolism to this custom mask design. My interpretation for this design is the name of the custom mask is fairly unique in a way that it correlates to the design itself. The concept and interpretation that I get by this design is simply a torture device, you know? It's as simple as that. It's a torture device. But this is not your ordinary torture device though. It is a torture device in which the look of it is based off of the person wearing it, due to it being the color of absence, black. And that is the most beautiful part about it, because everyone is different and unique in their own way. And that's pretty much all that I have to pull from. That's the amount of information I get by looking at this design. So hopefully you guys like my symbolism for this. I will have it on the description below. So before I end this video, I would like to make an announcement for everyone interested in getting a custom mask from me. You better get your act straight, because the more commissions I'm doing as time goes by, the more strict I am to handpicking people that are worth bringing their design to life. I just find it very hard to work with people who are not professional with how they say things, as well as them presenting their commission idea to me via email. And thus, this leads me to ignoring or rejecting them. I simply get annoyed by the number of people not following the requirements needed for me to accept their commission. Remember, please refer to my custom masks rules and guidelines PDF file or the video itself in my YouTube channel for more information. And people, please keep in mind that when you are emailing me a commission, please give me a reason why I should accept it, as well as why I should be interested in it. I hate people who don't take me seriously with this custom mask commission process. If you don't take me seriously, then why should I take your commission and design seriously? You know? I'm only accepting commissions from people who are serious with their commission. Most of the time I get commissions from people who want me to make them a mask, just to see if I'm able to bring their drawing to life, you know? Stuff like that just annoys me, it bugs me, and it's not worth my time to accept meaningless commissions like that. Okay? That's my announcement to you guys. So just keep in mind, I am more strict now into accepting commissions. Okay? So you better be professional with how you approach me the first time, because I will have a first impression of you. Okay? That's just my tip for you, for any of you who are interested in getting custom from me. And that'll be it for this video. Thank you, Don, for this wonderful opportunity of making this one-of-a-kind design. Please like my fan page if you guys haven't already. That'll be facebook.com/JuanFreakShowCaparis. Please subscribe to my YouTube. Please like, comment, and share this video if you guys enjoyed it. Also, please follow me on Twitter. That'll be twitter.com/evilsaw13. I pretty much post on Twitter every day whenever I make art, and this is to update you guys. It's unfinished as of now, as of June 2013, but I will finish it real soon. And I'll see you guys in the next video.